Welcome back to Ballroom Feed and Technique Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about the difference in leading a side basic versus a forward and back basic in salsa. So let's get into it right away. Alright, so as I go into this forward and back basic, which is our default in salsa, what I have to do as a leader in order to trigger or lead her into a side basic is I need a clear stop of momentum. So what I mean by that is that we're grooving, going forward and backwards here. I need to fully stop myself, and you can almost see I kind of lengthen my spine a little bit and try to hold everything up. So now I get to go start a new direction with new momentum. So what we want for a follower is we want the follower to default and to kind of assume that she's gonna keep doing exactly what she's doing now. That we're in a forward and back basic and she's dancing this and she thinks we're gonna keep doing it forever until I do something that changes the direction, right? So for me as a leader, the most important thing is that as I come and close my feet together, I switch my knees and I have a really good posture here and stop my momentum going forward. So now I get to go change my direction to the side. If my body is still kind of moving forward, but then I want to go take a side step, she'll feel that and go backwards in the next basic. So you can see here again, you're going to feel that we have a rhythm here as we go forward and backwards. I don't dance the forward and backwards like this, where I would stop in the middle each time. We kind of keep moving and keep the engine running. But when I want to do a side basic and change my mind, I do kind of put the brakes on for a second and then I get to go make a change subtly, right? So as I go back in here, I want to make sure I stop and hold her up and then go send her into the new basic and kind of put a break in the momentum to make it clear to her that something different is going to happen, instead of just kind of keeping with the same flow and then having to pull her along with me. So what I'm thinking about as a leader, stopping momentum and redirecting it and trying to make it really, really clear that something is changing instead of just moving myself without her into the next thing.
So one thing a little more simply put is to have a solid frame. So if we go from this angle, so we don't want this to go loosey-goosey and he goes to the side but kind of leaves me behind and doesn't bring me with him. So he's just going to kind of go to the side and he's not going to bring me. So you can see he left me behind and he's not utilizing his entire frame. So if we go to the side together, you should see nothing change in the upper body. Really nothing's going to move, so it's not going to go like this, it's not going to go like this, it's just going to stay exactly where it is, and you're going to feel a little resistance from your partner most likely, because hopefully she's doing her part where she's staying connected to you. And she's not necessarily going to know it right away, especially if you're newer dancers together. You have to work on that partner connection. But it's all about consistency and utilizing the whole frame, using your whole body as a unit and moving her with you, not kind of leaving her behind, even if you feel a little resistance from her because she's not necessarily knowing what's next yet, because you're the one deciding as the leader. So just remember that she doesn't know necessarily what you're doing yet unless you're a little more familiar with leading and following from other stuff. One more thing, like Chris was saying, is I like the stopping of the direction, because any inclination as a follower of the spine, right, is what we're following really. If we have a solid frame, like I just said, we're going to be following his spine and his weight. So if he even breathes forward and then wants to go sideways, it's too late. I've already gone this way. So what I mean is you want to make sure that you're putting your spine exactly where you want her to go. So if you want her to go forward, you're bringing your weight slightly more forward. And then from there, I can assume it goes back. So I don't need to really worry about that. And then if we need to change it to the side, he brings his spine slightly to the side. And that's what I'm following according to our connection in our frame here. So that's what he means when he says redirecting, is his position of his weight and spine. And that's what's sending me or giving me the feeling of, oh, we're gonna go side instead of forward and back. And that takes time for sure to practice, and it takes confidence in what you're doing and knowing what you're doing as a leader. But those are just maybe a little more simply put in that way.
I like this, the phrasing, feeling the inclination each direction. Is that's kind of a good way to put it for the follower?
Yeah, it's like a blinker. You know, you have to put the blinker on for her and then you turn, but not really turn.
Yeah. That my body has to move before my feet do. And I like that.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching this Technique Tuesday. Please like the video if you learned anything today. If you have any more ideas for Technique Tuesdays or things you want to learn, please comment below and reach out to us. We'd love to make more videos that you'd like to see. If you want to see more of this content or even more in-depth technique videos, you can see us on ballroomfeed.com. Go check out our pro section. We have a ton of stuff we'd love to show you. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.